am your host, Boom, the Film Doctor. Yeah.
And the film surgeon.
I will literally call the police and make a noise complaint about you in my own neighborhood.
And we are back in the attic with another hot film to dissect.
You don't even look like a film. Where's your coat? Where's your stethoscope?
Don't be worried about where all that is, okay? You need to be worried about how the hell I get in here.
Definitely. I'm locking my doors every single day. I thought we were done with this.
We're back in the attic with another hot film to dissect, coming to us from Amazon Prime, and you know what to do. Coming to America.
So that's hit us with that sponsorship most importantly, but let's jump right into our film review. So literally you're somebody that what do you
My popcorn was better than this movie.
Oh my god. Well, let's try and keep it in our mouth. How about that? I mean, you already got somebody else's opinion. I think that you went in there with a negative thought on it.
It wasn't bad, but my popcorn was better than the movie.
Okay, well, let's hear your film review, and then I'll go ahead and give mine.
You want to hear my review?
Yeah. You want to finish chewing? You want me to go ahead and do mine?
My popcorn was better than this film.
Well, it was made by me.
Anywho, was this film great? No. Did I bellyache laughing? No. Was I laughing uncontrollably? No. Did I snicker a few times? Yes. It's a comedy film. It's an Eddie Murphy comedy film. Comedy is subjective, so going into it with that mindset, I would say if you don't like Eddie Murphy's kind of brand of comedy from this Coming to America series, you might not be in love with this. Does that make it a bad film? No. Has a linear storyline. For the most part, it was shot really well. The cameras were crystal clear. The scenes that they shot and the camera angles that they used were perfectly fine. But was it like, oh my God, you have to see Coming to America too? No. And that's it's just meh. Subpar.
That's it.
Fell flat is what I would say. So if I was to give this movie a rating, because really it's about the jokes. I mean, it's a comedy movie. It's about the jokes. If I was to give this movie a rating, it would be C+. C at best.
Well, this movie ran at 110 minutes long. Like you said, you can find it on Amazon Prime. It has Eddie Murphy and Jermaine Fowler, and it has Kiki Lane from the old. The names, and you forget the stethoscope and the lab coat.
If you watch the Old Guard review, Niall from the Old Guard is also in it.
Anyway, you had your turn. Is it you want to tag?
Oh yeah, hold on, no.
Tag me
back in.
Tag me back in.
Yeah, tag me back in.
We're gonna tag
me back.
Are we really gonna do this?
The audience for this is gonna be 13 plus.
As I was saying,
tag me back in. And the director is Corey Brewer.
You're out. Okay, so this movie, literally, in my opinion, I haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen it in a long time. But this, I don't remember if the first one was something that really had me going and laughing and everything.
Because this was still didn't.
I think it was the nostalgia of a lot of the characters from the first one, the nostalgia of new characters that were introduced. But the story is like your stereotypical, generic, everyday story about, oh, well, you have to marry this person. Oh, but I'm in love with this person. I've seen that story a billion times. You know, I watched an interview.
Billion and one now.
I watched an interview with Eddie Murphy about him talking about how long it took him 30 years to come up with this. This is a generic storyline. Why did it take you 30 years ago? You could have done this 25 years ago, and maybe it would have done better because we wouldn't have seen it a billion times. We probably only would have saw it a million times. So maybe it would have been a little bit fresh in our minds. For the kinds and caliber of comedians that they had in this, I would have assumed that they would have been hilarious. Like, I would have been dying laughing, but it was almost like they were just reading a general script to follow this general story versus the caliber of comedy that they could provide and bring to the table.
Yep.
I honestly, I won't say that the movie was bad. He may have snickered a couple times. I laughed a couple of times, to where I was like, that's funny, or that was entertaining, but not enough to say that was drop dead hilarious. But when I think about it, what movie, because comedy is subjective, what movie can I actually say that I was like dying laughing? It's been a while that I've seen any comedy that was dying laughing. But to have one of the greats, Eddie Murphy, maybe he didn't write the jokes for it. Maybe some guy named Steve.
Well, there was a writer in here named Kenya Barris, if you know who that is. Blackish, mixedish,
okay, well,
and grownish.
She might have worked on Blackish, but she didn't work on comedy.
It's a he. It's a he.
Okay, you're out again. I don't give a. How about I don't care what they are or what their pronoun that they go by is used. The fact of the matter is that it wasn't a comedy caliber of film that should have been, considering the comedians that were debuted in this movie. I'll agree. I'll go with a C+. I had thought long and hard halfway the movie. I was like, can I give a B+? I was like, no, that's actually implying that I laughed a lot. So I'm going to go to average because it was an average movie, and I'm going to say C+ as well.
Yeah. Let me jump back.
It could have been better.
Tag him back in.
You've tagged yourself out of it.
Tag him back in.
I think, please don't duck away from me.
Tag him back in.
Go ahead.
Tag him back in.
You're childish. You know what? You can't do that.
There's a couple of other things that tag him back in. So there's a couple of other things I want to touch before we kind of wrap this up. So the story, I kind of want to delve into a couple points of the story. So the story is kind of this, like you said, the same, nope, don't you dare. Anywho, the story is kind of, like you said, like this kind of forced arranged marriage. I don't want to be arranged married. And then there's also this whole other plot point of like woman empowerment and stuff like that. Like, women can do stuff too. And kind of, that was kind of thrown in there. And, I honestly feel like some of that was forced. It fits the plot, but I still feel like it was forced. I feel like this movie could have took a different direction, not to say that like the woman empowerment stuff couldn't have been in there, but it could have took a different direction, whereas from her vantage point, I feel like they brought a character. When you
say her, who are you talking about? The queen?
The daughter who... The
daughter of Wesley Snipes or the daughter of Eddie Murphy?
The daughter of Eddie Murphy, the oldest daughter of Eddie Murphy, played by Kiki Lane from Old Guard, who played Nala, whose name is Mika in this film. Yeah, I feel like the story could have actually even surrounded her, and that way we didn't have like this stray off plot point that somehow needed to be wrapped up. It could have all been encompassed in that one story. It could have been, he's trying to arrange marry her off now, and they kind of tease that in the beginning, and they're like, no, that's not going to happen. So I feel like we had some strange storyline points that didn't need to be there, and it could have been all one connected story if that's what we were going after.
Another thing that bothered me, another thing that bothered me is how much weight Eddie has gained. Like, he should not have a bare belly. Like, you were really thin inside. Yeah, you're.
Eddie Murphy is rich. He can gain as much weight as he wants.
I don't give. Stop hitting me! I don't care. He needs to have lost some weight and just. He wasn't the center point. He wasn't center. He wasn't the center. He wasn't. You're bothering me. He was not the center point of this movie, which I get it. It wasn't supposed to be around him. It was supposed to be around this new guy. And this new guy wasn't nobody. For all these big names, get somebody else that was a similar big name to kind of play the child. And both of them, the queen and the king, they were dark as shit. And this guy was like super light. I don't give a fuck about the opportunity. He was super light complected compared to Eddie Murphy and the wife. So it wasn't even believable that was his son.
His daughter was darker than both him and his wife.
One more fucking time.
His daughter was darker than both him and his wife.
Exactly why it didn't match, because Leslie, by the way, Leslie Jones was probably the funniest person of this entire movie. Funnier than
I can agree to that.
Like, she really, to find somebody ghetto enough to play that ghetto role, it was just best fitting, and she was the one that I laughed the most about. Not Tracy Morgan. A lot of people like Tracy Morgan, and quite honestly, I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny in movies. I don't think he's funny in his stand-up. He wasn't funny in this movie. There was nothing that was humorous about his character, his lines, or anything that was delivered.
There was hardly anything humorous about this movie.
So, Trevor Noah?
Yeah.
He was funny. I guess that was a spoiler because I don't think people knew that he was in that.
Yeah, you spoiled it. Good job.
Sorry.
That was him.
Yeah, but like you haven't done it before. Okay. But that's pretty much all we have in terms of our rating for this movie, our thoughts and opinions on it. I would say, okay, all right, please don't know. Okay, we're not gonna mimic each other. Okay, that's not what we're doing. All right, but that's all we have. If you want to check it out, go ahead and check it out. It's definitely worth checking out so that you can have your own comparison, especially if you have recently seen the first one or you have a better understanding of the first one.
The first one is also on Amazon Prime.
I think that if you go back and watch the first one and kind of compare it, that might change your rating and point of view. But for us, we haven't seen it in a while, and just looking at it from the perspective of was it funny, was it a good movie, we're sticking with a C+. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell, do all that jazz. Even are we really gonna continue doing this?
Yes.
All right. So don't forget to do all that stuff. And as always, I am not gonna do it. You're not gonna pull me in. It's not gonna happen. Hit that bell, do all that jazz. Email. And as always, this has been another exciting episode of Film Addict.